So there are a whole bunch of different types of siding profiles. We could go down a list.
Down the list of lap siding, board and batten being vertical, vertical panel siding, still being vertical with different variations, whether it's 8-inch or 11-inch between the grooves. It's usually a plywood or some sort of pressed wood composite siding.
Those are usually 4x8, 4x9, or 4x10 sheets. What about shake?
Yeah.
So
straight shake and staggered shake usually, to, you know, depending on the overall profile or the overall look that you're going for.
And then there are specialty wood claddings. And those would either be vertical or horizontal. They could be tongue and groove. They could be panelized products. You
could even go diagonal with wood products.
Yes, you could.
Wood products, we see diagonal rustic channel. It's got about a 1-inch to 1.25-inch channel that runs through each overlapped board of cedar.
We like to replace that.
We do like to replace that. Yeah.
There are also different metal profiles. So you could do all of those same profiles: lap, board and batten, shake, channel, rustic, panelized siding in vinyl or metal, with the exception of the panelized sidings, generally speaking. Yeah, we probably sell mostly lap siding. That's what most people have on their home, or they have panelized siding and they want to replace with lap. Partially that's because it's the most cost-efficient siding replacement. It's the most
less
popular.
waste on those because the boards are smaller, so when they cut a piece off to make it fit the designated spot, there's just a small piece of waste that ends up being tossed. And so
some of the other profiles like the shake, the board and batten, those are things that we might use primarily as accents. They're a little bit more costly to install, and the materials have more waste and are a little bit more expensive. So mainly we install lap siding in terms of cost efficiency.
And lap siding tends to be the most functional as far as you know, when the laps are installed and they're shingled, the water cascades off of those, and but there's still a breathability factor. You know, it's funny, a lot of homes that we go to, we see people that have caulked underneath of each of those individual laps.
Or at the butt joints.
Yeah, and that actually reduces the breathability. And so I think lap siding is most functional for our climate, and just making sure that the walls can breathe and dry out if moisture ever does find its way back there. Yeah, you don't want to caulk where you don't need caulk. Anytime that you can use flashing, that's preferred. So it's one of the things that we appreciate about best practices from either James Hardie or LP Smart Siding. Most of these siding manufacturers have a best practice sheet, and you want to work with an installer that is observing best practices, so that everything is put on the way the manufacturer intended it.
I mean, the risks are that you will totally lose your investment because you haven't installed in accordance with code or the best practices of the manufacturer's recommendations. And when it comes to lap siding or any other type of cladding profile, everything needs to be flashed properly. It needs to be caulked, and then of course you want to install weather-resistant barriers, seam tape. You want to have your moisture barriers around all of your openings. You want to take care of how you're finishing your grade so that you don't get any moisture intrusion back to the walls. So we're really about being airtight, watertight, making sure that that exterior cladding forms as part of the wall envelope to keep everything that's supposed to be outside, and to keep everything on the inside safe. And I think Bellwether is probably your best choice for that, because as a default, we install everything in accordance with James Hardie's best practices, which is the Bellwether for installation standards.